welcome back to my channel, and thanks for tuning in to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing some tips with you about how I achieved a successful VBAC. All right, now before we get started, go ahead and subscribe. Come on, help a girl out. All right, now that you're done subscribing, because I know you have, let's go ahead and hop into these tips. Tip number one, it is so important that you find a provider who is going to support you. So I did some research and I found this Facebook group called ICAN, and I think it stands for the International Cesarean Awareness Network, I believe. And I found my region and I looked there and I looked through providers and anything that anyone suggested about how to have a successful VBAC. So I went to two of those providers that they suggested, and those two providers told me no, which was very disheartening. But then I went to a midwives group and they told me yes, which I was very shocked about. Because originally the two providers that I saw, they were in smaller clinics and they really did not want to help me because they were just nervous about the gap that I had between my first birth and my second birth, which was only 14 months. So they were like, no, guidelines stated should be 18 months. And really no one just wanted to touch me just based on that small piece of information. But fortunately, I was able to find my midwife group and they saw me. They saw that my gestational history was great. I really had no problems with my pregnancy, no hypertension, no diabetes. So they thought I was a great candidate. And I mean, I guess at that point, they were kind of like, what do we have to lose? So I ended up going with them, and they were the most supportive people I think I've ever met. They supported me, my husband, my baby. It was just the perfect combination. So tip number two, I definitely decided to exercise this time. So I did a lot of walking. I didn't do anything in the gym. I just did a lot of walking, a lot of cardio, because I knew that if I did that it would keep my body limber and ready to give birth. It kept me moving. When you research, it says to keep active, to walk. And I think that that's so true. It puts the baby in the perfect position, which is head down. It gives room and for the baby to grow and to kind of get ready to drop down into the birth canal and to help with that cervix. Also, with walking, the baby constantly pushes down on your cervix, so it helps to dilate you naturally as time goes on. Also, exercise was really good for my mental state. I am a very anxious individual and I deal with anxiety a lot. So walking definitely helped to ease my mind, and it gave me something to do and to take my mind off of what was really going on. Tip number three, keep busy. That is one thing for me that always helps. Like I said before, I'm a super duper anxious person. I could think myself into the bag. I could think myself into the box. I am just that person. So I worked up until I gave birth. I thought that was super important for me because I know that if I had any idle time, I would start thinking all these thoughts, any negative thoughts. It would just start bombarding my mental, and I just knew that it wouldn't help. I know that, positive thoughts equal positive outcomes. And working, I just had to work. I had to keep my mind off what was going on. Tip number four, an exercise ball. So with my first birth, I did have an exercise ball, but I don't think I used it how I should have, unfortunately. So with this baby, I definitely got another exercise ball. I ordered it from Amazon. I got this, I believe I got a 70 millimeter ball, exercise ball, and I pumped it up and I used it from 20 weeks on down. So at 20 weeks, I got a doula and she suggested that I get an exercise ball. She told me that it's been proven to help with VBACs and help getting that baby in that perfect position. So I got the ball and I made sure that I sat on it. In the beginning, I maybe did it from 20 to 30 weeks. I maybe did it 2 to 3 times a week. But after I got 30 weeks and, on, I definitely was on that ball nightly, just rotating my hips and making sure that I was getting limber and, making everything ready for movement and to spread. The other thing was my midwife told me when I sat on the ball to kind of tuck my tailbone in. She said, because what that does is when you tuck it, it opens up your pelvis and your birth canal. So it elongates all these muscles to get you ready for childbirth. So that way when you're in childbirth, it won't be such a shock. Your body's been doing it for so long. So I really think that helped. I mean, and whether it did or not, I felt better. Tip number 5, So, so, so important. I got a chiropractor. I heard about a chiropractor during my first birth, but I was like, I won't need that. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to push this baby out in 2 sneezes. I'll be great. Honestly, I feel like the chiropractor saved me. Like, she noticed a lot of tension within my neck and my lower back. She was able to just to adjust me, and I would feel so good every time I left her office. When I was 20, 21 weeks is when I started. So 20 weeks to 30 weeks, I went once a week. And then from 30 to 39, I went 2 to 3 times a week. So she would just start like from my neck on down. And then she would like do my pelvis bone. Like, I don't know what these bones are called in your pelvis, but she would push those and it felt divine. Also, be sure if you're going to go see a chiropractor that they are certified in the Webster technique. The Webster technique is used for pregnant women, and make sure that it doesn't like mess you up or it doesn't do anything to compromise your baby or yourself. But my chiropractor was a godsend. She always gave me tips and exercises, and it just felt so good. Like, I felt so much stress and tension leave my body every time she adjusted me. And I feel like that really attributed to having this successful outcome and having the VBAC that I always wanted. Tip number 6. Ooh, massages. Massages. They were my favorite. If anyone wanted to massage my head, my feet, my toes, my pinky toenail, I was going to let them. It felt so good and I was so relaxed. I really didn't do massages to like stimulate birth or anything or to stimulate contractions. I truly did it just to relax. Like I said, I'm a very anxious person, and I really think during my first birth, that's what prevented me from going all the way and like birthing vaginally, because I think I was in my head like, you can't do this, maybe you can't. Like, I had all this pent up frustration and tension that I couldn't relax and have the birth that I dreamed of. So I made sure this time that I went and got massages. I relaxed myself constantly. I got a massage every 2 to 3 weeks. I just wanted to make sure that I was ready physically, mentally. I was in the headspace to do it. So I attribute a lot of my relaxation to getting massaged. Tip number 7, stress management. I cannot stress this enough. Um, like, there was no way that I could have gone and had a successful VBAC if I was stressed all the time. Like I told you, my chiropractor said like I kept just so much tension within like my hips and my neck. There's just no way. So what I did was I made sure at work, if I felt like I was too overwhelmed, I'd be like, I can't do it. If I was too overwhelmed at home, I would have my husband or a friend or someone, I'd push some responsibilities off on them, because I just wanted to make sure that I was housing a comfortable home for my baby and for myself. I knew that it was important that I had a VBAC, because I know if I didn't have a VBAC, I just mentally, I don't think I would have done as well. Like I said, my first pregnancy was so overwhelming, so overwhelming. We moved across the country, literally from coast to coast. And I just feel like I was so stressed out, I couldn't take time to breathe and relax and like prepare myself to have a safe and desirable delivery. So please, whatever you do, make sure you relieve stress wherever you can. I know it's impossible to relieve it all, but whatever you can relieve, you should definitely try and do that. So my last and final tip: positive thoughts, positive affirmations, and positive envisioning. So when I went into this birth, I knew that I needed to change my mindset. I knew that I needed to be more positive. I needed to envision and just tell myself that I could do it. I had to be my biggest cheerleader. So what I did was is I went on Pinterest and I found these affirmations that were so specific. It would say things like, I will deliver this baby vaginally. This is what I'm meant to do. My baby will come here in peace. My husband will be supportive. Like, I would speak these things to myself daily. And I spoke it so much, I started to believe it. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I can do this. I would watch YouTube videos of women having vaginal births, and I would envision myself there in their bodies. Like, this is me, like having this birth. Like, I just knew I had to be so positive that it was overwhelming. But I feel like I exuded all this positivity. And when I was doubtful that I could just use all that positivity that I had overflowing and like stick it on these negative thoughts, And it really truly helped me come out with a better outcome. I truly believe because I was positive about it and because I wasn't negative and I didn't put these negative thoughts in my head, that it enabled me to have the VBAC that I always dreamed of. So guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching if you got this far. And if you like what you see, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.